Hey guys, so we left off where we messed around with this food class so that we had a mutator that would allow other objects to take food. Okay, so you can see that the food is being decreased every time we call the take food method. Okay, and we also made it so that our ants walked around randomly. So if I add an anthill, press run, these guys kind of go around randomly. Great. So we're at that point where we are now ready to try and bring in this algorithm. So with this algorithm, we're trying to do two different things, okay? We deal with two different situations, either if they're carrying food or they're not carrying food, okay? So let's implement that, okay, through activity 3, bring home the bacon. In order to do that, we're going to start off by adding something to the ant class here. Okay, and in the act method, we're going to add just some commenting. Paste this in, and I'm going to comment this out, and we're going to kind of fill in the blanks is what we're going to do. So I suggest you do that with me. And comment that out. And then line everything up. Okay, so let's deal with this. We're going to go over to the activity 3 now that we have everything, this general algorithm copied and pasted, okay, commented out so we can fill it in. We're going to go to activity 3 and it says in the ant class, implement a search for food method that should initially just do a random walk and check to see if we've run into a food pile. If we have run into a food pile, we remove a few crumbs and we invoke the method we wrote in activity 2 and change the ant's image to show that this ant is carrying food. Okay, so let's head on over there. And so we're supposed to deal with just the search for food. So we're supposed to make a method for this. So let's uncomment that piece. We're going to make a method called search for food. And as it mentioned, it's going to just do a random walk first. So we're actually going to take this piece of code. And this is going to be a private method because nobody else needs to search for food but the ant. Void search for food. We're going to paste this in. Okay, so it's walking randomly, but we're also supposed to, it says here, if we found a food pile, we remove a few crumbs and change the ant's image to show that it's carrying food. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so randomly walks around. Now, if we've run into a food pile, okay, we need to check that. If we have run into a food pile. Now, in order to check that, we're going to actually have to get access to the food that we're checking in with. And in order to do that, we can't just use isTouching. We have to use getOneIntersectingObject. So we're going to create a food variable, call it F. And we're going to now say food to cast what is returned by getOneIntersectingObject. Okay, we're going to cast it to be a food object because it returns a general actor. We need to tell what kind of food object we're looking for. So, well, or what kind of object we're looking to run into. Food.class. Okay. So we've now checked to see if we've run into this pile. We've actually more so just put something inside food if we have. So we need to make sure if this pile, or if we actually run into a pile,
Please stand and remove your hats for O Canada.
All right, you guys are going to hear some O Canada here. So if we've actually run into a pile, okay, we're going to actually have something in F. It won't equal null. It's going to actually say, yes, we ran into something. So it won't equal null. So if we actually ran into a pile, what we want to do is take some food from it. In order to do that, we need to use dot notation. So going inside this if statement, we're going to use dot notation. So take food from a pile. So not an if statement. Take food. Now, where am I taking food from? Okay, let's go back to that food class. Where's this method? Right, it's in the food class.
We would like to acknowledge with respect to Treaty 1 land upon which Fort Richmond Collegiate and Climate Trail School Division resides.
And so if we ran into a food pile, we have taken from the food pile. The next thing we need to do is we need to change the ant so that it looks like it's carrying food. And we want to record that it's carrying food so that we can reference that later. So change the ant's costume and record that we now have food. So we're going to set image to ant with food.png. And then we're going to now record that we have food. So we should have a variable that's keeping track of this. We're going to create this at the top here. And we're going to simply, of course, make it private. Boolean carrying food. And we'll set it to false at the start, of course. Okay, so carrying food equals true. Okay, record that we're carrying food. Good. So we've done that piece. Now, let's see here. Let's actually check, can it carry food? Okay, we're going to put down a pile of food. We're going to put down an anthill. And we're going to run this. We're going to get an ant to come out here. And let's drag one of the ants over and see, does it pick up food and does it look like it has food? Uh-oh, looks like there's an error. So what's that about? Okay, so couldn't find the file name. I guess I didn't spell it right. Let's find out if what the actual name is. Ant with food.gif, not png. So we'll head back there. GIF. Let's try again. So we'll add food. We'll run this to get some ants to come out of the hill. We'll go and move this over to the food and see, does it take the food? Yes. Oh, it took all the food. So we need to make it actually start to go home once it's taken a pile of food, because now it's just wandering around aimlessly. And that part will be in the next tutorial video.